and it's actually not that difficult to set up a solar system on on a small building or whatever. Because I think our solar system was about $650, and you get the right set of batteries and stuff like that charged, and you can run your the power inverter. You can run a tiny home on solar pretty well. It may be more difficult during the summer months because of the air conditioning type thing, but for normal usage, for TV, lights, anything like that, water heater, etc., you can run that all off of 12-volt system, and it saves a lot of money. So, I mean, there's a lot of things out there that people could donate their time and knowledge to do to help out without having to actually put money forth, even though it's going to require money.
Yeah, and the great thing is if they are a professional and they donate their services, they can get a tax write-off for it for the fair market value of that service. So, for example, if they charge $50 an hour to come in and do contracting work, they can write that off on their taxes. So it's a win-win.
Look at that, getting tax breaks for being helpful to your fellow persons. That's a good thing. That is a good thing. And you can toss it back in the face of the IRS. Right?
Yeah?
It's just a thought, right?
Who doesn't love tax breaks? Yay,
yeah,
tax
everybody
breaks.
likes tax breaks, especially corporations. They love tax breaks. That way they don't have to pay taxes, while the rest of us do.
We're going to have you set up our IT, Scott. How's that sound?
We're going to do what?
We're going to have you set up the IT, Scott. How does that sound?
I can do that. Yeah, we can. I know some good networking people. We could actually put together some sort of like a community Wi-Fi that would reach all the tiny houses, so that everybody could actually, have some sort of access to the internet to be able to send resumes and search for jobs and stuff. Maybe search porn. I mean, depending on what kind of things they like to do. Of course, now we
better do a little bit more bedroom.
But of course, now with the new, lack of net neutrality, I guess that, you don't want to be searching for porn while you're looking for jobs, because then you'll get in trouble or you get sold.
Well, unless you're looking for hand jobs or blow jobs. I mean, those are,
Yeah. Well, or handsy blowy. I mean, it's a toss up there. So, yeah, and that's one of the things. I think that we really need to get back to concentrating. People in our country need to stop playing the political football game and actually start playing the let's fix our community game. And this is one route to do that. It's a very, both exciting and fulfilling thing to be able to help your fellow person, at least in my opinion. And just a few minutes of your time could make the world of difference to somebody that doesn't seem to have hope. And I think that's what we need to concentrate on, is a little bit of hope goes a long way for people that have none. So think about that when you're out there, folks, when you're out wandering around and you see somebody that's homeless. Don't treat them like they're the plague. Don't be mean to them. Don't, harass them. Don't treat them like they're the scum of the earth, because they're not. They're a human being just like you are. And they have some unfortunate circumstances that has put them to the point where they're walking down the street trying to get money. That doesn't mean that they're a bad person.
Don't be dicks.
Yeah. Anybody can be in that same position.
Buy them a fucking sandwich.
Get them a sandwich, give them some coffee. Just don't be an ass. I mean, try to help people. I mean, that's what we've lost in our country, is we've lost the ability to help one another and to be empathetic towards one another.
And giving them money, that is so impersonal.
Yeah. Don't give money. Give food. Give clothing. Give stuff that's actually going to help them lift themselves up. That's the important part. Now, in some cases, it's probably okay to give money because, it would help. But I wouldn't use that as the primary source of helping. I would say find other ways. If you know somebody that's homeless that has skills, help them find a fucking job. Help them, help themselves. Because I think that a majority, I don't know personally, but I think that a majority of people that are homeless would rather not be homeless and would rather have a job and actually be able to lift themselves up by their bootstraps. but they need that opportunity. But as long as they're treated like the scum of the earth because of the fact they're homeless, they're never going to get that opportunity. We need to change that in a big way and fast before Donald Trump launches nuclear weapons and we end up being a nuclear holocaust.
Or I mean, even bartering. I mean, I know bartering isn't necessarily the best thing, but I think it could kind of be a good thing depending on what somebody's skill level is. If it's like, you know what, I'm really good at gardening, so I can plant you all this shit. Yeah, I mean, whatever happened to that? Why is money always the monetary compensation? I mean, there's skills like, I can fix your computer. Oh, well, can you install a pool?
You can't tax a barter.
What's that?
Because you can't tax a barter.
Right.
Well, there is that, but it's kind of like, you know what, government, fuck you. I need somebody to landscape my yard, and you need somebody to fix your computer. So, I mean, if you can actually find people with skills that you need to basically compensate,
I would if
I'd be all for that, personally.
Now, one of the things that I remember from, I think it was 2014.
When was that?
We did the red carpet thing.
Oh, that was so awesome.
Now, does
that
that
was awesome.
Yeah, does that type of stuff still happen, or did that kind of go on the wayside? Because I know there wasn't that much participation.
It happens, but not as frequently as I would like. So they do job fairs and stuff like that, but they don't do the makeover part of it, which I thought was the coolest part. You took somebody who felt like some of them felt like they had no hope and that nobody cared, and we brought them in and we gave them a head-to-toe makeover.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and we gave them interview attire that they needed. So, I mean, I would love to do that again.
Yeah, help them write a resume, set them up with like a Gmail account that they can access at the library. I mean, any of that kind of stuff. Is all something that you could do to help the homeless person. I think the Google Hangouts, you can actually get a Google number, so you can go to the library and actually you can get phone messages through Google, and it's free. So, I mean, there's a lot of things that people could do to help the homeless if they just take the time to do it.
And I have a question. I know it's probably
here we go.
No, it's probably irritating, but different people I talk to in different contexts and different situations, different conversations. Everything is so politically correct, but realistically, what is the difference between somebody who is houseless versus somebody who is homeless? It sounds like kind of a stupid question, but it seems like depending on how the conversation goes, either the person says, oh, well, they're houseless or they're homeless. Well, if you don't have somewhere to stay, doesn't that just... I don't know.
The thing is, some people don't want to live in a house. It's a small percentage. Don't get me wrong. It's not like it's a large percentage. But there's a small percentage of people that don't want to live in a traditional home or house. So they don't consider themselves homeless if they have a tent, for example. That's their home. Okay. And so they don't consider themselves homeless. They consider themselves houseless.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that makes sense. Like I said, sometimes people say homeless, houseless. And it does get kind of confusing because it's like, well, is it a politically correct thing? Is it
tomato?
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I wanted to ask. But no, that's good to know because that's true.
I use the two interchangeably.
What's that?
I use the two interchangeably because I just stop and I was used to hearing both terms. And most people, you say houseless, and they like, I have no idea what you're talking about. So.
Well, houseless means you don't have a house. Home means you don't have any place to live or stay, which is how I was kind of interpreting it.
That sounded like a UFO.
It did sound like a UFO. That was awesome.
That was a weird sound. All right, so we are winding up. We hope for the best with the project. Let us know if there's anything that we can do. Once you progress along and you get to different stages where you start needing community involvement, let us know. We'll get you back on the show and we can get people involved with it. Because it's something that we really need to do. We need to start, focusing on the internal workings of our country. And the internal workings of our country, of course, is the people that live here.
Humanitarianism?
Yeah, stuff like that, where we treat people like equals regardless. Where we're not rude assholes to people just because they're not the same, political ideology or financial status or whatever. So, but yeah, you should be back on the show again soon, Angel. We have a lot of things to talk about.
I guess the good thing about working on this project, it's kind of taught me to open my eyes up a little bit and be more open. Because I used to be one of those people that I just attacked the Republicans every chance I got, And then I learned that there's Republicans, the people out in the streets that actually want to help on projects like this and will open their hearts and their wallet books and whatever else they can. And then there's the Republican leadership in this state.
Right.
So it's taught me that there's a difference between Republican and Republican.
So you're not a Republican plant anymore? Is that what you're trying to tell us?
Oh, that's bad.
Despite the rumors,
That's okay. We're party shoppers.
That's an inside joke, yeah.
Yeah, we're party shoppers.
Party shoppers.
Yeah. So, all right. So we're winding down the show tonight. Hope everybody is going to be safe from nuclear holocaust over the next week.
If
please,
not, we'll have a beer with you.
Yeah, we'll have a beer. Before you kiss your ass goodbye, have a beer or a shot of Fireball or something like that.
Both.
Look out after each other. Look for each other. Try to take care of one another. Try to be kind to one another. The change that we need to focus on in our country starts from within. So we hope that you all would take that time to think about that and be a little bit less apt to judge on a snap judgment basis and actually start listening to one another as opposed to telling each other what they need to do. So for Progressive Voices, we are going to be going ahead and dumping out for the evening. We will be back next weekend. Friday next week, we will be having our LGBT special. We haven't given it an actual show name yet. We have a candidate who is going to be running for Congressional District 8 to run against Trent Franks. She spent a lot of time at Pride Fest this week, so we're going to be talking with her. We have another woman who is author and owns a business called From Victim to Survivor.
Yeah.
She's going to be on the show with us talking about the trials and tribulations of same-sex adoptive parents, the transgender biases and issues in our country, stuff like that. It's going to be something that's very important. The whole idea is to try to bring out the idea that equality can be for everyone. It doesn't have to be just for specific groups. It can be for everyone.
We're all people.
We're all people, and we need to be treated that way. So join us next week for that. The following weekend, which is the 21st, that is going to be we're probably going to have a short show on the 21st because we're going to be up in Prescott
and drunk
camping on the RV for somebody's 45th birthday party weekend.
Jesus, who?
You. Hello. So we probably will have a short show that weekend, and then we'll, of course, be working on it. We're going to try to get some good guests from all different political views and all different backgrounds to be a part of the show and create conversation. So thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you have a good weekend, and stay out of trouble. You have been listening to Progressive Voices of Arizona, hosted by Scott and Kara Pryor. We hope that you will join us again next week as we try to bring some interesting and lively conversation to the airwaves. It is important that people start communicating, start talking, and start treating each other as individuals with dignity. Our show begins each week at 6 p.m. Arizona time. So come on out, join us, be a part of the conversation, and let's make America change to benefit us all.